Celebrity chefs are constantly churning out amazing new recipes, but not every one of them is a hit. From a cake debacle to a pizza fail, there are many recipes some chefs wish they could erase. Drummond is best known as the Pioneer Woman. She has a wildly successful food blog, as well as a show on the Food Network. However, when you have as many recipes as the Pioneer Woman, at least one of them is bound to go bad. The one recipe that Drummond has publicly stated went terribly wrong is her fried chicken pizza recipe.
Okay, I'm gonna put the pizza and the chicken in the oven together.
It has a measly 5 reviews on the Food Network website and has a 3-star rating. Drummond later wrote in her 2020 memoir, Frontier Follies, "My least favorite recipe I ever filmed for the show was a chicken strip pizza. It was absolutely awful, but because it was the end of our last shoot day, we had to move forward with it. I figured it would look better on TV when it aired. I was wrong." Alton Brown first came on the food scene with a unique take, combined science and cooking, which he did in his Food Network series, Good Eats. Brown shows his viewers not only how to cook a recipe, but also why it works, and he does so in an engaging, informative way. Not every swing can be a home run, though, and there's one recipe that Brown made for the Food Network that he deeply regrets. During a live show in Tampa, Florida, Brown admitted that his crock-pot lasagna recipe didn't live up to his stellar reputation. Today, the recipe still sits on the Food Network website with a 2.5-star rating. One commenter on the website even remarked that the recipe presented a great opportunity to eat cereal for dinner. Sandra Lee's rise to fame came from her series of cookbooks, as well as her show Semi-Homemade Cooking, which aired on the Food Network from 2003 to 2011. Despite her success, there is one recipe over which Lee has expressed regrets. Her infamous Kwanzaa cake debacle began when she made the dessert for her December 2003 holiday special. The recipe used store-bought cake, frosting, canned pie filling, and corn nuts, and it garnered a lot of negative attention. Years later, the recipe's true creator penned a scathing piece for HuffPost, wherein they disowned the Kwanzaa cake recipe and asserted that Lee had terrible taste in food. British chef Jamie Oliver first made his way into American kitchens when his show, The Naked Chef, debuted on the Food Network in 1999. The recipe he most regrets is for Empire roast chicken, the name of which seemed to celebrate England's rule over India from 1858 to 1947.
"This is Empire food, you can use your hands."
Oliver later told the Sunday Times that his recipe would not be appropriate today, and to avoid further mishaps, the chef hired cultural appropriation specialists to advise on his cookbooks. You can still find Oliver's Empire roast chicken recipe on his website, though it has since been renamed Spiced Roast Chicken. Nigella Lawson is a British cookbook author and TV host who has created many well-rated recipes for the Food Network. Lawson does have one recipe regret, but it's not about the recipe itself. It's about the name. She created a version of pasta alla puttanesca that she dubbed Slut Spaghetti, which is a direct translation from the Italian version.
"In deference to its name, I'm going to bed."
Lawson eventually changed the name to Slattern's Spaghetti, writing on her website, "This is the sort of dish cooked by slatterns, who don't go to market to get their ingredients fresh, but are happy to use stuff out of cans and jars." American chef Geoffrey Zakarian is a cookbook author, the executive chef of several restaurants, and a celebrity host on the Food Network. However, Zakarian has been accused of culturally appropriating recipes. As just one example, his Adobo-Style chicken was ripped apart on Reddit in 2022. Commenters were horrified at his inclusion of parsley and the lack of garlic and vinegar. Though Zakarian himself hasn't commented on this failed dish, changes have been made to the original Food Network recipe. As the network's website states, this recipe has been updated to more accurately recognize its origin or to add cultural context. It may differ from what was originally published or broadcast. John Creger was the executive chef and owner of the now-closed Baltimore, Maryland restaurant Fusine. Thanks to his extensive background in the food industry, Creger became a contestant on the Food Network show Chopped. Unfortunately, when Creger appeared on the show's special Halloween episode, he committed perhaps the biggest possible cooking faux pas by offering the judges a deadly ingredient. Creger took the episode's spooky Halloween theme a bit too far when he served the judges eel blood, which can be poisonous. As host Ted Allen explained, raw eel blood is toxic to humans and must be fully cooked in order to be edible. In a decision he most surely regretted later on, Creger told the camera that he doesn't like to play it safe and that he wanted to give the judges a new experience. However, none of the judges tried Creger's dangerous eel, and the chef was chopped in the appetizer round. Tieghan Gerard's claim to fame came from her popular food blog, Half-Baked Harvest. She has also published many recipes through the Food Network, which also hosts her cooking show, Tieghan's Harvest Table. Gerard has, however, received criticism for a handful of her recipes. As just one example, her Weeknight ginger pho ga has been accused of culturally appropriating Vietnamese cuisine and being incorrectly labeled. As Vietnamese-American recipe developer Suzanne Nguyen explained to Today, the only thing that made Gerard's recipe even close to pho was that it was noodles in a broth. In response to the backlash, Gerard changed the recipe's title to Easy Sesame Chicken and Noodles in Spicy Broth. In a statement that a spokesperson sent to Today, Gerard shared, "It was never my intention to offend or hurt anyone or the culture. I will make sure to be much more conscious when deciding on recipe titles in the future and be sure to do more research."